My research paper is on the video game Rocket League. In the background, I have just some gameplay of me playing the game. My research question is, how does playing a non-violent video game like Rocket League, as opposed to a violent video game such as Call of Duty, affect a person's mental health? I start with my introduction. This is just sort of an outline of my paper. In my introduction, I will talk about Rocket League as a game, briefly discuss how Rocket League has affected my life, and then I'll transition into my thesis. And my thesis is, there's an ongoing debate over whether video games are healthy or not, but the argument tends to only touch on video gaming as a whole. Whether or not gaming is healthy depends upon the video game being played. In this paper, I contend that Rocket League, as opposed to violent shoot-'em-up video games, promotes healthy psychological behavior. Then I jump into my first paragraph, which is where I discuss the psychological benefits players gain from playing a game like Rocket League. The second paragraph, I discuss the concept of a skill ceiling and why this makes Rocket League so psychologically engaging. My third paragraph, I discuss the long-term goals and improvements and why this gives players something to work for and keep them mentally engaged. My fourth paragraph, I make a more in-depth distinction between Rocket League and violent video games to address the counter-argument, all video games are bad for mental health. In my fifth paragraph, I'll discuss the Rocket League community and how it positively benefits mental health of all those people who are included within the community. And then my conclusion will just summarize the paper, review arguments, and counter-arguments. So just to give you a little background about what Rocket League is, Rocket League is a video game different than any other that has come before it. The goal is not to kill your opponent, rob a bank, or be the last man standing like most mainstream shoot-'em-up video games are these days. Rocket League is a first-person, action-packed soccer game with rocket-powered cars. Sounds a little crazy, right? Exactly. The game is different from every other video game out there. I first started playing Rocket League about 2 years ago, and at the time I had no idea how to turn left, right, or move forward or backwards. Since then, I've improved up to the point where I'm now among the top 3% in the world, and I've never had so much fun playing a video game before in my life. So it's kind of the reason why I decided to choose Rocket League as my topic. Along with its growing esports community and non-violent game structure, Rocket League is a video game that benefits all who play in a positive way. That, to me, is what truly sets Rocket League apart from other video games. Violent video games do not have the same effect on a person as a game like Rocket League does. Oftentimes, people have changes in behavior due to the type of video games that they play. Benoit Bedioy, sorry, I couldn't pronounce his name, in his article, Meta-Analysis of Action Video Game Impact on Perceptual, Attentional, and Cognitive Skills, states that, according to recent reports, more than 1.2 billion individuals worldwide, including more than 150 Americans, are video gamers. And with action games consistently ranking at or near the top of the most popular game type. He cites Spill Games 2013 and Entertainment Software Association 2015. That is a large portion of the world, and thus many people are affected by video games. And then back to my thesis, there's an ongoing debate over whether video games are healthy or not, but the argument tends to only touch on video gaming as a whole. Whether or not gaming is healthy depends upon the video game being played. In this paper, I contend that Rocket League, as opposed to violent shoot-'em-up video games, promotes healthy psychological behavior. And then from there, I'd be rolling into my body paragraphs and conclusions, including my arguments and counter-arguments. The counter-argument being that all video games are bad for mental health. And there we go. Thank you.